Hey, Callow Jath. Callow.
Hello, Gil. When are you cleaning up that repair on the sensor console?
I'm not. It's a redesign.
A redesign? Without a trained crew?
I'm trained and it's working great. Don't be so uptight.
Everything okay?
Oh, fine. Fine. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Oh, okay.
What can I do for you?
You and Gil are fighting?
I couldn't help overhearing you and Gil. It sounded pretty heated.
He likes redesigning things, but the ship was built this way for a reason. I wish Gil would respect that. It's nothing to concern yourself about, really.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Well, I can't talk about Suvi. She's sitting right there.
I'm not listening. You can say whatever you like.
Oh, no.
Really?
I'm not falling for that again.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you concentrate.
You know where I'll be.
Hey, Suvi. Thanks for your help down there, by the way.
Scans of the Scourge. All that dark energy twisting and turning on itself. It's splendid.
I suppose it is a rather darkly beautiful phenomenon.
Darkly beautiful. I like that. Helios is incredible, isn't it? Not just constructs like the Scourge and the Remnant vaults. Just all of it. So alien. A constant reminder of the divine intelligence behind all creation.
You mean a god?
Yes, I believe in a higher power. I know it's a little odd, but I am a scientist because science brings me closer to something greater than myself.
And honestly, I think my writer actually does believe in a higher power. Just because so many people believe that just because you're big into science and math, that doesn't necessarily mean you don't believe in a higher power. I don't think. Because the way the world works, like the way this reality works, physics and all that, it doesn't mean that you can't. It doesn't mean that you can't still believe that there's a higher power that put that rule set in place. You know, that's what I think Skyler thinks.
There's something about coming face to face with something wondrous that makes you want to believe.
Wow. It's wonderful to meet someone who understands. I've had to justify myself so often.
Yeah,
As
well.
if having faith in the divine invalidated my work as a scientist.
Exactly, I
As
hate
if the
that.
sacred could be diminished by the search for truth.
You don't have to justify it. I like a diverse team. I like a diverse team. Sacred could be diminished by the search for truth. As if the sacred could be diminished by the search for truth. Yeah, I like that. I think.
It's good to have different voices on my team. I like that.
Excellent. Oh, speaking of the team, I should update the folks back in the Nexus with the latest reports. We'll talk later.
Okay.
I saw pictures of the vault. Astounding how big it is. And how much of it didn't you see? What if it's way bigger? What's all that space for?
Parties could go deep in the earth.
With what it has to do, it could go thousands of miles below the surface of the planet.
Or completely span it. An underground network. Just a thought, of course. I wouldn't even know where to start hypothesizing how it all works. The Remnant builders, whoever, whatever they were, accomplished something far beyond us.
I wish I was able to pick parties. I thought that would be really entertaining, but it would have been out of character for what I believe Skyler would have said.
When did you start believing in a god?
My parents were both scientists. My home was ruled by rationality. So when I became a teenager, let's just say that while other kids found Batarian music, I found God.
But your work as a scientist?
Convinced me even more, especially when I got into molecular biology, physics.
Right.
The patterns I kept seeing over and over again, they were like an artist's watermarks. God, to me, is an artist. An inventor, not someone checking to see if I brush my teeth.
I like that quote. I like that quote a lot.
What do you know about the Remnant's terraforming network?
From what I can tell, the vault is designed to adjust almost everything about a planet. Climate, pH of the soil, atmosphere composition. There's even evidence that it can propagate life. If we can figure out how to control the vaults, we could turn these worlds into perfect habitats.
That's great, actually.
I should get back to things.
Sounds good?
Callow Jath mentioned that him and Gil were fighting. I'm wondering if Gil has anything new to say with that information. I'm not sure. I'm just going to double check. Gil, are you Callow Jath fighting? Why are you guys fighting? Can I do anything to help stop the fighting?
Hey, Ryder. What's the story?
I guess not.
Good talking to you, Gil.
Anytime.
Let me know when you want to play cards, Gil. I'm ready to play cards with you. Oh, yes. Especially specific versions of poker. A specific version of poker, yes. Anyway, to start out, as you can see, I finally managed to create what I will consider to be Skyler's default casual outfit. I really liked the jacket a lot, and I thought this was a really super cool look for him. As you may know, I'm the kind of person who kind of likes to, what is the term? Go with the beat of my own drum. I like unique things, you know. I don't like the norm. I don't like overrated things, which is probably one of the reasons why orange is my favorite color. And so I definitely wanted to put some orange into this with some black, just to, you know, not to go too crazy. But I also really like the purple in this. Purple is actually another color that I really love, and it's a color that is so underused. Both orange and purple are so underused in comparison to, say, red and blue, for example. But I really like this look on Skyler a lot. I also, in between videos, installed the deluxe. I had gotten the deluxe Mass Effect Andromeda, and I forgot to install all the content, which is where this hoodie was. Which actually, with this color scheme, that color looks pretty cool. And the short sleeves, I actually like. This actually is pretty awesome too. I like this look a lot. And long sleeves, yeah, I mean, pretty much this color scheme is pretty awesome. But for right now, I like the jacket a lot. One thing, though, that I found out is that when you're trying to customize colors, in order to have the colors actually be saved, you have to select the color and then press the space bar. And it's kind of unfortunate that the actual instructions down at the bottom, these buttons, they don't tell you to do that. They don't say anything about a space bar. And so if you're having problems, because I've seen that some people are having the exact same problem. I had that problem myself, and I was trying to figure out what the heck is going on. If you're having problems adjusting the colors, make sure that you use the space bar after you select your color. And you might have to press the space bar like 2 or 3 times, because you'll hear a ta-ta, ta-ta kind of thing. The other thing I did is I also tinted what I will consider to be Skyler's default armor color scheme. So blue is actually light blue, or sky blue. Yes, Skyler sky blue is also a color that I absolutely love. And so I have this light orange sky blue armor, which again, I really love this look a lot. I think it's very much Skyler. And I'm really ready for him to rock out in his armor with this new look. So I'm gonna go and check my email. Checking my email. Dear dear Ryder. Heartfelt thanks. Oh, I got a thank you. To Ryder from Dr. Ariadana. The families of my lost expedition asked me to convey their appreciation to you for finding their loved ones. It's always difficult when we lose people, but knowing what happened will help them begin the mourning process. I hope your next excursion has a happier ending. Ariadana. Oh, you're very welcome. Let's see. Hijack. To writer from Herrick. Let me archive this. To writer from Herrick. Pathfinder, it was marvelous to meet you. As a fellow adventurer in the sciences, could you help us with an experiment? We have an interesting chap here on the Nexus, a young pyjak, what humans sometimes call a space monkey. He's part of a study on how various species adopt to shipboard life, and we're hoping you might take him aboard the Tempest. Oh, here's my pet pyjak for my deluxe version of Andromeda. He's part of the study on how various species adapt to shipboard life. We're hoping you might take him on the Tempest. You can't pick him up from the Nexus Commons. You can pick him up from the Nexus Commons whenever you like. Don't worry, he's quite friendly and his routine's very simple. Simple, no food after 23:59, no baths or showers, and please limit exposure to solar radiation. Professor Herrick. Oh, well, I like that. I'm gonna have to look and pick him up. Asking for assistance to writer from Dr. Ariadana. Hello, writer. Forgive the intrusion. I have an issue that you and Sam should be able to readily solve. It may assist my investigations into the Scourge. We can discuss it in person at the Nexus Labs. My regards to you and Sam. Dr. Ariadana, Astrophysics Lead, Nexus Tech Labs. Okay. The Brothers McCoy. To writer from Nigel McCoy. Dear Pathfinder writer, my brother Dash was my best friend. It still pains me that he's gone, that we won't build a future here in Andromeda together. But knowing that our family pendants are united does my heart good. When my wife and I settle here and start a family, our firstborn will carry my brother's name. Oh, that's sweet. And hopefully he or she will become my new best friend. My sincerest hopes accompany you and your team, Nigel. I love these. I love getting these special closures on our mail. To writer from Cora. Can still smell that Remnant vault on my armor. A lot of weird stuff down there. Like my Huntress manuals would say, the razor's edge between known and unknown teaches you what can be cut away. Now I think back, it reminded me a little bit of some of the temples on Thessia. Same huge spaces and running water. Same sense of a huge purpose you can't really understand. Makes me wonder if we'll ever already know what their builders did there. Cora. Tempest hacks. I'm pleased to report the Tempest is operating at peak efficiency, so now that you're in command, I thought I'd share a few sweet secret shipboard hacks that the designers and I sneak into her code. Just send the code JCSB through your OmniTool to open the debug command menu. Give all dispen lets you take the coffee dispenser in the galley an unlimited number of times. Let you use the coffee dispenser an unlimited number of times. Water temp override overrides the normal hot water ration in the showers. Jump wash queue puts your clothing ahead of everyone else's in the auto laundry cycle. Enjoy and don't share them around. Callow. That's hilarious. Spirituality. To writer from Suvi. Dear writer, I'm so glad for our chat earlier. I've had to defend what I believe so often, and I have to admit, I'm a little tired of it. Whenever I meet someone who feels the same or just understands, I really appreciate it. So thank you, Suvi. It's hard. It's hard, I understand. I don't blame anyone who is not a spiritual person. You know, if that's not your thing, if you believe or don't believe, that's perfectly fine. I have zero issue with that. So it's nice when, you know, somebody else, people can feel a little isolated, I guess, when people don't know how to agree to disagree with you. You know, I think that people who tend to be spiritual and who tend to be religious get a lot of flack. They get a lot of flack because, unfortunately, there are people who are very religious who, in my opinion, impose it on other people. And that's where I think it's a bad thing. It's a negative thing. You should be free to believe whatever it is you want to believe, as long as you're not hurting anyone and as long as you're not imposing it on anyone. And it's the people who do that, who use their beliefs, or they hurt people because I'm hurting people in the name of God, or I'm just simply imposing my religion on somebody. It gives other people who are, spiritual or are religious, who don't do that, it gives us a bad name. It gives us a bad rap. And it can be very frustrating. It can be very tiresome when we are judged for that. And I know that a lot of people, tend to shy away from religious people because they believe that they are being judged. Well, we're judged for believing what we're believing sometimes. So just take that in consideration when you're dealing with someone who may or may not believe in what you believe. It's really tough. And so I really appreciate this. Suvi has a way of finding someone that she could relate to about this with Ryder, because it seems like very few people she has historically been able to relate to with before. About your dad, Drac. Vetcher told me what happened to your dad. I've lost a lot of people over the years. Figured you could use some cheering up, or at least a distraction. This usually helps me. Drac has attached 37 images of various rifles and shotguns. 2 are duplicate images. Many are low-res or watermarked to Drac. Oh, this is really sweet. Oh, I love that. That is so sweet. Yoga poses? Yoga poses? To Ryder from Lexi. Ryder, given the amount of high-impact cardio in your exercise routine, I recommend spending 5 to 10 minutes a day stretching to open your hips and relieve tightness in the lower back. The poses I've listed below should do nicely. Not to sound elitist, but while it's true humans invented yoga, the Asari perfected it. I do believe that. I remember distinctly a quote from one of the previous Mass Effect games where there was an Asari dancer and someone was like, how does she bend her body that way? Or how can she move her body that way? Or it's like, and he's like, and it was a non-human. He was like, my knees are supposed to bend that way and I'm impressed, or something along those lines. Corinth's bow. Corinth's bow? Standing, spread your legs apart, turning 1 foot outwards. Take a deep breath. On exhale, bend your torso towards the outward-facing foot until your hand meets your ankle. Hold for 5 seconds, then switch sides. Tevora's embrace. Lying on your back, bring your feet together until there's a diamond of negative space between your legs. Palms against the floor, push your hips forward, but be careful not to overextend yourself. And the matriarch's pose. Kneeling, take a deep breath. On exhale, bring both hands together to form a triangle. On the second inhale, swing arms overhead and bend forward until your torso is between your thighs. Hold for 3 breaths, reaching further with each exhale. Please let me know if you need diagrams or vids. So, I wonder if anyone out there will actually, do these yoga poses, follow these directions to do these yoga poses, maybe even post it up on YouTube. B, I don't need diagrams or vids. I just need Gil to demonstrate them for me. So Gil, could you look at these yoga poses? I don't quite get them. I don't get how to do them. Do you think you could kind of help me with that? Do you think you could demonstrate it for me? Yeah. Thanks, Gil. Monkeys in space. Pick up the pie jack from the Nexus doxing bay. We've got a lot of things to do in the Nexus.
Eos has been a lesson in contrast. Alec Ryder rarely endured doubt. His accomplishments were taken for granted. But you succeeded on Eos, despite doubt and fear. Emotionally, the difference is like catching a ball versus catching a star. You have grown as a result, and so have I.
Memory triggers.
What's the latest on memory triggers?
A memory has unlocked and is available for further investigation. You will need to return to Sound Node in the Hyperion.
Okay.
Thanks, Sam. Nothing more.
The firefighters? Speak with Ariadna. We've got a lot more missions. Okay.
Just some light scatter from ice in the Scourge.
I'll recalibrate the sensors for bloody nuisance cloud.
Where do I don't remember where I can customize.
Vectra to track down prosthetic gel and those other items we discussed.
What?
Nothing
What?
for me. Playing favorites, Lexi?
What? No?
I love that they banter all across the ship. Very, very good. Very, very good. Saving. Strike team missions. Ooh, can I Debrief. Mission failure. Why is it always failing? Alright, fine. Do I identify enemy loadouts? 70 chance of success. View traits. Effect plus 10% effectiveness during conditions. Okay. Eventually these guys better level up. Okay.
Strike team ready for deployment.
The research center. Strike team missions. Alright, let's go back to the bridge. Galaxy map. Let's head back to the Nexus, I guess. Oh, but first, we need to do some scanning. Oops. Wait, I'm doing this wrong. System view.
Anomaly
We need to
detected.
scan this.
Probes launched. Tracking a huge mineral deposit.
I'll get to that in a moment. Here we go! Woohoo!
Anomaly on sensors. Deploying probe. Satellite detected.
Satellite ID Nexus 900G, power readings 84%. System report, databanks prepped for download. Status operational. Analysis. A scientific monitoring satellite launched by early explorers to Eos. Its mission was abandoned when the original settlement of Eos failed, but it has gathered valuable data from H26. Oh, wait. No, I wanted to go there. I wanted to go to the satellite thingy. I wanted to gain 50 Milky Way research data. Okay, that's what I wanted to get from it. H276, orbital distance 27.8 AU, orbital period 164.6 years, radius 7185 kilometers, atmospheric pressure 11.13 atmosphere, surface temperature -77 C. Remote and cold. H276 is nevertheless of interest due to the phosgene gas in its thick chlorine atmosphere. This could indicate primitive chlorine-based life, however, no detailed study has been completed. Let's take a look at H060. Woohoo! Pythias. Orbital period 0.6 AU, orbital distance 0.6 AU, orbital period 1.1 years, radius 7968 kilometers. Atmospheric pressure 23.65 atmospheres. Surface temperature 198 C. Analysis. H060 and its satellite attract debris from Pythias' asteroid belt, resulting in multiple dust rings. Numerous meteorite impacts have left H60 rich in nickel, but these same impacts make mining difficult. Okay. Asteroid. Nearby asteroid. This particular asteroid? Data, M-type asteroid, diameter 420 kilometers, surface gravity 0.034 G. An iron-nickel rich asteroid, its dust indicates the same scourge contamination that affects Eos. Iron deposit. Nice. Nanook. Take a look at this. Pythias. Nanook. Orbital period 27.9 AU. Orbital distance 27.9 AU. Orbital period 164.9 years. Radius 25,194 kilometers. Atmospheric pressure 1.54 atmospheres. Nanook is a hydrogen methane gas giant. Debris in its orbit suggests it has seen Ket visitors. And Pele. There we are. Pele. Orbital distance 12.1 AU. Orbital period 47.2 years. Radius 7091 kilometers. Atmospheric pressure 7.01 atmospheres. Surface temperature 781 C. Tidal heating and bombardment from Pythias' asteroid belt has aggravated Pele's volcanic activity. Methane in its upper atmosphere contributes to the planet's scorching conditions. And Kansu.
Anomaly detected.
Let's take a look.
Probe away. Tracking a huge mineral deposit.
Ooh, beryllium deposit. A metal ideal for lightweight construction in a variety of applications. This deposit is readily accessible. Nicely done. Kansu. Orbital distance 31.4 AU, orbital period 197 years, radius 7495 kilometers, atmospheric pressure 3.57 atmospheres, surface temperature -178 C. Kansu's oddly mild climate, given its orbital distance, and rich resources made it a candidate for a mining outpost. However, its unexpectedly rugged terrain has tabled discussions indefinitely. Alright. 100% progression. Erickson. Let's take a trip to Pfeiffer as well. Might as well take a trip to Pfeiffer. Clear that out before we go back to the Nexus. Because we're, it's on the way.
This is about as far as the Nexus surveyors could get before, well...
Let's see what's waiting here.
Is there an anomaly, Suvi? No.
I'm picking up something.
There's a black hole? Do you really want me to check out that black hole?
Probe away. Tracking a huge mineral deposit.
Okay. I kind of want to look at the black hole. Is this like an automatic death? How close to this black hole are we going to try to get to? Don't get that close, Callow. Wow.